I love how Canelo set up that hook to the body. It's a throwaway punch. That second punch, right uppercut, he kind of just touched him with it. He didn't throw it hard, and then he just to get the momentum to his left side of his body, so he can put some torque on that hook to the body. He can be an intimidator.
Double jab through the guard and that right.
Was using his right hand now. He'll use the touch jab to land the right hand. In fact, he jabbed in two different places to try and land the right hand. That's why he is something of a boxing savant. He does things that nobody else does.
Right at the belt line. You think that's an early...
So today we're going to talk about the throwaway punch. Alright, so the throwaway punch in boxing, the punch is not intended to land. The throwaway punch it's used to blind your opponent. It could be a jab, it could be an uppercut, it could be a right hand, it could be a whatever shot, but it's not intended to land. And there's different aspects of the throwaway punch. So I'll explain a couple, and then as you can see on the video clips I put of Canelo versus Josito Lopez, he threw he just tapped him with that he was with Josito at close range, right? He tapped him with the uppercut, but he didn't go hard. He just tapped him and he positioned himself to throw that body shot. Bah, and he dropped him. And so that's a throwaway punch. You just tap that uppercut to position yourself and get momentum to boom to throw that body shot. And he dropped Josito Lopez. There's another video of Mayweather. Mayweather threw two jabs. He threw one at Canelo. Canelo was like this. He threw one, and then he threw one to like the right side, and Canelo went like this, and Floyd just went pss, hit him right in the face. So he threw that jab to throw him off. He didn't even throw it hard. He just to throw him off his game. He like, oh man, and he put his hands down, and boom, that right hand came behind it. Or he also threw a little 1-2 to keep him frozen, and he threw that uppercut right through the middle, hit Canelo right in the face. Canelo was a kid, and Canelo learned a lot from the fight. But yeah, so as you can see in those videos, and also Canelo versus Yildirim, in the video clip, Canelo threw, he was at close range with Yildirim, and he threw that double uppercut, but it was just little taps, and then boom, he hit him to the body. So yeah, so that was those were throwaway punches. They weren't hard. They weren't even intended to land. They're just little taps to position yourself and get your opponent like, oh man, okay, he's throwing shots. He's still throwing shots, so you're still defensive, but you're open here. You're like, oh, you're here and you're open to the body. So yeah, he hit him with that, and there was another one where I don't know if he threw a jab. He threw a little baby jab, and he threw a right, and it's just a body shot, but just pss, pss. He got him with that check hook. But he just threw a little baby jab just to blind him. And then I don't know if you've seen, after his combination, he just kept that jab out. Right in his eyes, right there. Boom. He kept it out. Canelo versus Yildirim. After he threw his right boom, he kept it out. He just kept it out. If you watch the highlights of the fight, he always kept that jab out to keep the fighter blind. It's just like, oh, there's another shot coming, but it's a defensive jab. After he throws his combination, boom, he throws that little jab, that little stick. He just pops it out just enough to get the fighter worried, like to stop the fighter in his tracks. If he was gonna think of a move, it stops him in his tracks. So that's a throwaway punch, and that jab is he uses it to. Floyd used it to throw that right. You see in the video. You could use it for defense. You could use it to as a defensive jab. Many aspects of the throwaway punch and the jab. What else? Chavez, Maidana, Canelo. They also use the little. It's not fundamentally sound like in boxing. I don't think you should do that, but they do it because they're black belts and they've been putting in work since they were 7. And you've seen fighters do, like Roy Jones puts his hand behind his back and he knocks some dude out because they're black belts. They're experts. They've been doing this since they were 7. You shouldn't do that. Like, fighters do the Floyd Mayweather shell and they get knocked out. Adrian Bronner did it. Andre Berto was doing it. Who else was doing it? I think Teofimo Lopez was doing it. I'm like, dude, no, man. You can't do it. Only special fighters do it. And Canelo does it. And he knows how to do it. Oscar De La Hoya, when he had Floyd Mayweather Sr., he tried to do it. He used to get hit all the time. Even in an interview, Oscar said, man, I couldn't master that Floyd Mayweather shell, the Mayweather defense. It just, you got to be special. You got to be, you're here, and you got to come off the shell to throw that hook, that check hook, because you got to be special. And Canelo, he has that, man. He can do it. He studied Floyd, and yeah, and he learned a lot after. He learned a lot from that fight, man. But like I said, also a throwaway punch is there's another one when you throw it right, boom, and then your momentum takes you there. You're off balance, and you try to come back. You have to come back to your position, right? You just don't come back like this. Some fighters, Chavez, Canelo, and Maidana, they throw their shot, boom, and the momentum takes them, and then they just throw a little right hand, just like that, like that, with their knuckles. Just they go like that, boom, and they get back in position, boom, and they get back in position. So that's another throwaway punch, just to get that guy off you, because you're off balance. You're like, oh, he's gonna rush me, so you just throw a little, boom, you just throw it, and you come back in position. So yeah, so throwaway punches aren't meant to land, and they're meant to open holes or defensive or to position yourself to throw a body shot, uppercuts, fake little uppercut, boom. So and they don't really. I did a little research. They didn't really talk about it on videos on YouTube, and you know Stephen A. Smith isn't gonna talk about it because he sucks. So yeah, so the throwaway punches. I'll give you another example of a throwaway punch. It was Canelo versus Pedro Angulo. I don't know. It was like at the end when they stopped the fight. They called it premature, but his face was looking like freaking. I don't know. His face was looking burnt out, dude. He was leaking everywhere. It looked like pizza. When Canelo did the versus Pedro Angulo, he did that. He threw this. He did one of these. He did this move. He went like that, and he threw that uppercut. Bah! He went, boom, and his head went back, and they stopped the fight. So that's a throwaway punch. Boom, boom. Margarito did that versus Cotto part 1. When Cotto was all burnt out. He looked like freaking Animals Attack. His face was all burnt out. He was just bleeding. He was chichotas everywhere. Chipotle. Yeah, he looked all burnt out. And so, boom, boom, boom. He was working him, and bob, he landed. And I don't know if the ref stopped it or the ref stopped it, and then yeah, they made Margarito go to the neutral corner, and so Cotto was in the other corner, and the ref said, "Okay, let's go." And then Cotto was still drunk in the ropes. He was still drunk. Margarito rushed him. Margarito was like this. He went like this. He just kept moving. Cotto was like drunk already, and he just like freaking. He was showing him that right hand like that. He was just doing this, and he hit him with an uppercut. Boom, and then bam, bam. He finished him off, and then they stopped the fight. So. Yeah, once you got your fighter drunk, he had him. If you get a fighter hurt, you got to just grab his attention. He's like, what's going on? And he was grabbing his attention. He hit him with an uppercut. Bah! And he finished him off, man. He destroyed him. So, throwaway punches, Angulo, Canelo, like I said, Canelo went boom, boom, and hit him with an uppercut. He was already burnt out, and he just like, oh, what? What kind of shot is that? And he just got him with an uppercut. So, throwaway punches are very important in boxing, and only smart fighters and great fighters do it. There's a lot of good fighters that do it, but I peep the game, and I'm, nah, he doesn't have throwaway punches. How does he set up his punches? Let me see his jab. So these are little tricks. These are little things that great fighters have, and I'm peeping the game. Chavez used to do that, like I said. Maidana did it, and yeah. So the throwaway punch is very important, and if you're watching fights. Like I said, Canelo versus Yildirim, he did a lot of throwaway punches, throwaway jabs. Fake this way, boom, hit him with the jab. Fake that way, boom, hit him with the jab. And Floyd did that to him. He learned a lot from Floyd. Like I said, you don't win and lose in boxing if you're a great student of the game. Canelo's a great student of the game. He didn't lose, and he didn't win, and he didn't lose to Floyd. He learned from Floyd. If you really pay attention, you can see Floyd's DNA all over Canelo, man. His discipline. When Canelo was young, he missed weight a couple of times. He's in his prime now. He's in his prime. 168 pounds. He's in it. He stays in shape 24/7, just like Floyd. I remember back in the days when Floyd, they had footage of Floyd at the clubs. He was at the clubs at the strip joint making it rain at the strip joint in Vegas, and then and they showed the clips in 24/7, and if you look at on YouTube, you'll find it. Soon as he got out the strip club, soon as he got out of the club, and he didn't drink. He was always with the water. He didn't drink. He never drank. So that's how disciplined he was. There was people drinking everywhere, champagne, everything. He didn't drink. He didn't even drink a drop. All water. He was just drinking water and making it rain on the strippers. And then right after the club, 3 o'clock closes, boom. He used to grab his tracksuit, his shoes, and just run. Hit the streets or hit the track. Boom, 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 boom. And if you notice, Floyd used to always work out at night. If you go on the 24/7s and the Floyd footage and everything, he's always working out at night. Why? Think about it. Why? Well, the fights are at night. So why are you training your body early in the morning when the GOAT, one of the GOATs, not the GOAT, but one of the GOATs, or TBE, Floyd laid down the blueprint? Maybe you should train at night because the fights are at night and get your body adjusted to wake up at night, because if you're fighting at night and you're training in the morning, your body's not going to adjust. But you know what? There's great fighters that train in the morning, so Marquez but the GOAT TBE trained at night, and because they asked him, why do you train at night? Because the fight's at night. I want to get my body adjusted. I don't want to be sleepy at night. I want to be right awake. And he was sharp. Even if he was 38, 30, 36, 38, sharp, reflections, versus Canelo, just everyone. They couldn't touch the old man. He was always on top of his game, man. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's what Canelo has. You can see Canelo with the Mayweather shell defense. Who taught him that? Reynoso. You see Canelo with great footwork, defense. You can't touch him, man. That's Floyd, man. You can't touch him. And if you throw a shot, you miss. He's gonna make you pay. So yeah, man. And he, like, versus Yildirim, he threw that jab, that throwaway jab, and he learned that from Floyd. Floyd got him with that uppercut, and he got him with that right hand. All day he was getting him with the right hand during the fight, during Canelo versus Floyd. So he learned a lot from Floyd. They talk trash about each other. Oh, I'm going to beat you. Oh, now I'm in my prime. Floyd beat him. He was a kid, and now he's a man. And Floyd's already an old man, and plus he's 168. So let's not talk about that. But yeah, man. So the throwaway punch is very important. So when you're watching fights, check it out. See if some fighters do it. And check out if Canelo does it versus Saunders. He has to do that when he has him in the ropes. So he has to invest to the body in the beginning of the fight. Get the investment you can get the dividends. In other words, you take his legs. That's the investment. You're investing into the body. Then he's gonna get him tired, and then he's gonna take him to the ropes, or even in the middle, whatever. But take him to the ropes, and that's when you do your, you know what I mean? You throw your throwaway punches. Tap it, boom, boom, to the body. You know what I'm saying? So when you watch that Saunders fight, peep the game, man. Peep the game. Peep the game. Watch Chino Maidana. Watch Chavez. They had throwaway punches, and you gotta be mañoso, man. In boxing, man, you gotta be mañoso. You gotta be sneaky, man. Step on the shoes, throw an elbow. You have to, and a whole bunch of tricks, throwaway punches, like I said. So yeah, man. The reason I started this channel, because no one breaks these type of things down, man. No one really talks about this. Not everything. A lot of these YouTube channels, boxing YouTube channels, they just gossip and they talk about they're race baiting, and cause he's black, cause he's Latino, cause it's just like, all right, man, it's starting. I don't want to hear that, dude. I'll just change it to CNN or Fox News and all that. Like, come on, man. Let's get into some boxing. Let's talk about, did you see round 4, man? Hey, man, this move looks like Floyd. And when he did this, and Chavez in 1992, man. Like, man, where's the connections? Where's the breakdowns, man? No one's talking about this. So, you know what? I'll chop it down, break it down, and serve it to you, man. So, yeah. And then you turn on TV, it's the same thing, man. Stephen A. Smith. That guy don't know nothing about boxing, man. Shannon Sharp, like, it's just a joke. It's a joke when it comes to boxing. So, yeah, man. So, I hope you guys like it, man. But, yeah, Mike Angelino Podcast, man. Like it, subscribe, everything. So, I'm out. So, Mike Angelino Sports. If you like this channel, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll continue to bring you exclusive insights on fight breakdowns and fight video clips. All right, man.